Hello guys, it is Beaker Tier List here, and today we are back talking about Tracy Beaker, the show that we all love, and we are about to add to our tier list, which is a running series that we have been doing on this channel. If you have no idea what I'm on about, then let me just get you caught up. So recently, we have been making video after video about the whole Tracy Beaker franchise, I'm going to call it. So basically, that involves the story of Tracy Beaker, so the original TV show, Tracy Beaker Returns, the one in the middle, and the latest one, The Dumping Ground. And we have been creating a tier list, and we've been adding to it every single video, adding all of the characters from this giant franchise from every single TV show. So we began with the story of Tracy Beaker, and we added all of our characters from then, and then if that video hit a certain amount of likes, which it did, we then added the Tracy Beaker Returns characters to this one tier list, and now you guys have asked for it, so now we are adding the third and final TV show to this tier list to make one giant tier list, which is all of the Dumping Ground characters. If you haven't seen the first two videos where we add story of Tracy Beaker characters and Tracy Beaker Returns characters, then you probably need to go and check them out, as there will be spoilers for that video right here, right now, and this video won't really make sense without seeing them. So you can either go and click the links down below in the description, which will take you to each video individually, or there will be a card appearing in the top right hand corner of your screen right now, which will take you to our Tracy Beaker playlist, which involves every single one of these videos. Make sure you go and check out those past videos first, then come back to this video so that you get to see how this tier list is finished off overall. So anyway, let's begin this Dumping Ground tier list. But before we go any further, just make sure that you've clicked that red subscribe button down below and have your notifications turned on so that you get notified whenever we make a brand new Tracy Beaker video. So, before we go any further, let's just remind ourselves of the tiers. At the top, we have the Tracy Beaker tier, the Elite tier. If you're as good as Tracy Beaker herself, then you get to be up in this tier. The second tier, which is really, really good, but just not as good as Tracy Beaker, is the DG family. You're great, you're a great character, we really like you. The next one is relevant enough to be in Gus's notebook. You're good, but that's all you are. You're basically just good, you're there, you're fine. Then we have more non-existent than Tracy's mum. Basically, you're pretty forgettable. No one really cares about you. You're just sort of there. Then you're starting to get a bit annoying now is the fifth tier with Elaine the Pain's best mate. You're just really, really annoying. And then finally, if I really don't like you, no one likes you, and we just want you out of this TV show, then just bog off, which is the final tier, which is, of course, Tracy Beaker's famous catchphrase. So now that we've reminded ourselves of the tiers, just also to let you guys know that this is my own personal opinion, you guys will probably have many, many different opinions on where these characters will go, as there is loads and loads of characters in this tier list, and we're about to add so many more right now. So why don't you let me know down in the comments where you would place all these characters in your very own tier list, where you agree with me and where you disagree with me, and there will also be a link to the tier list down below in the description so that you can play along at home. And then make sure that you post it on your social medias, tag us on all the socials at Gate of Theories on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it, to let us know where you would place all these characters on your very own tier list. But anyway, let's begin with the first character, starting with Floss. Now again, I don't know whether this is an unpopular opinion or not, but does anyone else absolutely really hate this character? Like, nothing against the actress, but just the character and the personality. It might just be me, because like when you watch the interviews with the cast members, and they have that classic question where it's like, which other character would you want to play? Lots of them say Floss, so clearly they all really like this character. I think when she first joined, she was good, but after about series 2, she just got very annoying, and I'm very surprised considering Billy, Tony and Harry have all left. I'm thinking, well, why is she still there? I think she was a good character for maybe her first 2 seasons. Leave it there. Don't drag her on. Like, they're still dragging her on. Am I the only person who thinks Floss is just a really annoying character? So sorry, Floss, you're going in the worst one. Maylee next. I really like Maylee. I think she's really good. I think she's good enough to be in the DG family. She's not as good as Gina, but I think she was a nice addition. So I'm going to add her in. So she's going to go in the DG family. Next, we have Finn. Now, Finn is a great character. I think no one can deny that. Some of the episodes that Finn are in, he is just hilarious. He is so funny. And I think his story and how he actually enters the dumping ground is one of the best entrances ever. It's amazing. And that episode where Ryan has to escape Finn from the evil foster family, I think it's one of the best episodes. And then Finn, he's really grown as a character. Like recently when he was with Alex and wanted to move in, I think he's really maturing and he is a great character. He's going straight up to the very top of the DG family. I don't think he's as good as like the Tracy Beaker lot, but I think he is a really great character. Sasha. Now, I really like Sasha. I think she's a great character. Like Finn, I think not... is she better than Finn or not? I don't know. I'm going to put her here for now. But I think she is a great, well-developed character. Right from when she came in, one of my favourite two-parters is when Sasha came in. And she just goes in and does not care what anyone else thinks. She's a great character. Next, we have Ryan. Now, I think Ryan had some great moments. Like, especially when you realize like he couldn't control how angry he is, and it kind of like he kind of beats himself up for it. The mistakes he makes, his final episode, the long speech he gives to his mum is amazing, and I think he's a great character. The only thing I'd say is that sometimes he'd just like be mean on purpose and it would kind of get a bit repetitive, but apart from that, he was a great character, so I'd say he definitely goes in this DG family area. Chloe. Now, I think when Chloe was with Ryan, she was absolutely rubbish. Like, I really did not like Chloe. I thought, why on earth have they added this character in? She kind of just, like, made Ryan's character a bit more annoying, even though Ryan was a great character. But then, since Ryan is gone and she's got to, like, thrive on her own, I think she's doing well. Is she good enough to be in the DG family, or is she just relevant enough to be in Gus's notebook? I think she's probably just relevant enough to be in Gus's notebook, but she's a good character. She's doing well. Next is Candy Rose. Now, at first, I absolutely hated this character, but as it's went on, she has got a lot better. I do have to admit that. So I'm just going to put her here for now. I think some of the scenes she has can get a bit repetitive, the same thing. They basically brought her in to replace Carmen, and she's just not as good as Carmen. But the backstory, like when she met her sister and her pretending that she wasn't in care, I think those ideas are really good. So when she's good, she is very good. But most of the time she'll just be on the side and can be sometimes annoying. But she's definitely getting better. I think if they keep her in a bit more, she'll definitely be higher up this list. Next, we have Mo. Now, Mo I thought was really funny, and the chemistry that he had with Bailey and T was brilliant. I think he's going up to the DG family. He's not better than any of these characters, don't get me wrong, but he is a really great character. I think early on he was a good character, and I'm glad they took him out when he did, because his later episodes weren't the best. They knew it was time for Mo to go, and I think that was good, because if they'd kept him on any longer, I think he would have started to get a bit annoying. But apart from that, he was good. Bailey, I think, again, him with Mo was brilliant, but I think he's way up here. Like, he's probably here in the DG family. He is a brilliant character. The first two-parter where he came in was brilliant. And all his stories, all the ones that focus on him, like every story that mainly focuses on Bailey usually is a two-parter, because they need to get everything in, because his stories can be really serious and they can just be great stories. And when he leaves, you really feel for him when he's leaving. Like, you know it's going to hurt. And I didn't want him to leave. He was a great character. Next, we have Billy and Tony. And these two, of course, have to be a pair. I really like these characters. I was very upset that they went, especially considering they went and Floss didn't. And we all know how I feel about Floss. So these are just going to go right up to the top here. They were really good. Not as good as the Tracy Beaker category, but I think together, especially as a pair, and they were just very, very great characters. Next, we have Kazima. I thought Kazima, when she was on the streets, brilliant character. When she first came into the dumping ground, sort of went away from it, but then later on, the more serious episodes, like Refugee and when she leaves, you really feel for this character. She is a brilliant, well-developed character, and I think she just gets better as she goes along. And I was really upset when she left. I thought it was very upsetting. So she definitely goes up high in the DG family. She was a great addition to the show. Next, we have Faith. Now, Faith was really good when she was in it. I think she was better in Series 2 when she got run over. And I think when she returned and was ashamed about the dumping ground and she had that fight with Bailey, I thought that was really good. But is she really good enough to go in the DG family? I thought in Series 1, apart from the first 2 episodes, she wasn't really, like, up to the highest of standards. I think she's relevant enough to go in Gus's Notebook. I don't think she's bad, and I think some of the episodes that she's in are really good. But at the same time, like, when she was in the wheelchair, she just sort of, like, moaned on about it sometimes too much than you would, like, assume someone would. So, but yeah, she was a good character, but just not as good to get up there. Next, we have Archie. I thought Archie was pretty funny, but again, he's kind of forgettable occasionally. Like, the episodes that he was in, he was really great. But I think once he'd left, I think that was his time. So, relevant enough to be in Gus's Notebook. Next, we have Joseph. Now, at first, I really did not like this character. Joseph was just annoying, and I didn't like him. So if you'd asked me years ago, I would have put him in the Just Bog Off column. He was not good. But he's not that bad. When the dumping ground is about to be taken over by Flats and Johnny returns, they did make Joseph's character really good. And they use his abilities well. And I think in some of the episodes where it focuses on Joseph, they are really good. But he's not the best. So I think he's more non-existent than Tracy's mum. But he got better as he went along. Next, we have Charlie. Now, I really like this character. I think the story with her grandfather and the chemistry she has with Alex is brilliant. I think she goes straight up to the DG family. She's not, like, way high up, but she was really good while she was in it. And finally, we've got Alex. Alex, again, was really good. I think he isn't as good as Charlie, so I wouldn't put him up as high. But I think he was really good, so relevant enough to be in Gus's Notebook, I think, in my personal opinion. But he's pretty high up there. He's not the worst. Next, we have Jay. Now, I don't know whether this is going to be an unpopular opinion or not, but is it just me, or I don't really get this character. Like, he's been on the show for, what, 3 years now? Maybe longer? And I just find him annoying. Like, I don't get what his personality is. Sometimes he's trying to be, like, the mean guy, and he's trying to basically be the Ryan and the Electra of the show. He's trying to be the really mean one who everyone hates, and then other times he's trying to be the cleverest, and he's trying to be the best at everything, and then other times he's just, like, his personality just switches between the two, and I can never tell whether he's trying to be helpful or mean. He's just trying to get the attention, I think, and I've just never really found him that great of a character, so more non-existent than Tracy's mum, I think, fits him very well. On the other hand, though, Bird, his chemistry with Candy Rose, and just some of the episodes he's in, he's just a nice guy. Like, compared to Jay, I much prefer Bird. It's nothing against the actors or anything, it's just like, I think Bird's way better. So, he's going in a column just higher than Jay. He's not the best character ever, but he is really good. I do like him. Next, we have Taz. I think with Taz, it sort of depends whether you're going to have a good episode or a bad episode. Sometimes she's really good. And like the episodes where it's talking about her family and she goes to meet her family, and the first episode she's in, they're really good. So the episodes that focus on the more serious side are good. But then the episodes where she's just sort of at the side, I just don't really care about what she's doing that much. So I think she's more non-existent than Tracy's mum, probably. Next, we have Sid. I think Sid was a nice addition, but I've never really thought he was that good. I think he's the same as Taz. They're not really that good. Next, we've got Dexter. Now, Dexter, when he first came in, was, of course, in the episode with Sasha. I thought he was good. Like, he gave Sasha some obstacles, and I think keeping it at that was a good idea. But then they decided to add him a main character. They did what they did with Chloe, and it just did not work with Dexter. I found this character so annoying. And when he was he came on the Dumping Ground Island one, He was just so annoying. He began to ruin Sasha's character. This great character that we had of Sasha was beginning to get ruined because every time Dexter had a problem, Sasha instantly had to have that problem as well. And I just found him so annoying. I thought as a side character, as a character where we would find out more about Sasha through him, was a great idea. But then when he became main character, he just became so annoying. I'm very glad he didn't last long. So I'd say he's Elaine the Pain's best mate. Next, we have Sammy. Now, some of you might not remember this character. He was in for about, 3 episodes. And I don't know why, but he was just a random character that came into the dumping ground and only lasted about 3 episodes before his family came and picked him up, and then he was never in again. And in the time he was there was only 1 episode where you actually saw him. The rest of the episodes he was just a side character. I don't know why on earth they invented this character. He's not bad, he's not annoying, so he's not going to go in any of the 2 bottom columns, but he's just so forgettable. Does anyone remember this character? I don't. So he's more non-existent than Tracy's mum, because the episodes he was in weren't the best ever episodes. They were just they were just there. I really don't get why they invented that character. He was not needed. Next, we've got Beck, one of the latest additions. I think she's actually a really interesting character, so I think she's going to go higher up. Is she good enough to be in the DG family or relevant enough to be in Gus's notebook? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure about that one. I think she'll probably just be relevant enough to be in Gus's notebook. I think the reason why she's probably a lot better is because the episode where we get introduced to her, it just focuses on this character and it barely has anyone else in the dumping ground in. And it just shows her side of the story, how she got to the dumping ground. And I think it was a really interesting episode because we've never really had that sort of side to the story. We got to see how she was put into care, and that was the focus of that main episode. And I think from then on, her reputation has just stood as this mysterious character, but you understand why she's quite lonely at times, why she can be quite annoyed, and I think she's a great addition. Next, we have Katie. Now, Katie was introduced just at the very end of the last season, and she hasn't really had her time to shine, unfortunately. I think she's more non-existent than Tracy's mum, because I don't really know much about her. In the latest season, she hasn't really been there that much, and she hasn't really had her time to shine yet. She's just sort of been put to the side. Maybe if we get an episode where it focuses more in on her, we might become closer to her, but right now, she's not really that good. Next, we've got Viv. Now, Viv is an alright character. I think the episodes that she's in that focus on her are good, but she's not really shining in any sort of category here. She's not really better than anyone else. I think she's probably just more non-existent than Tracy's mum. I think later on, if we get to know her a bit more, she might be a bit better. Next, we have Scott, the brand new care worker. Now, I think he's a good addition when he's used right, but he hasn't really had his time to shine like the other care workers. The other care workers are a lot higher than him. I think he's not annoying, but I think he's just more non-existent than Tracy's mum. Lots of characters are going in this one. And finally, we have Nazir. And unfortunately for this guy, he was about to become a really big character, and then the pandemic happened, and I think we've only had 1 episode in with him, and he didn't really do much. He really did not, which was a shame because the episode mainly focused on Jodie and Tyler leaving, so he didn't really get much of his time to shine. We'll probably get that maybe in future episodes. So, I mean, he was a good character, but we didn't really get to see him much. Although, he did get to annoy Jay, and I did like that. So, I'm going to put him higher than Jay. Speaking of which, again, probably unpopular opinion, I've just realised Jay, more non-existent than Tracy's mum. No, I think he's Elaine the Pain's best mate. I really do not like, it's nothing against the actor, it's just, he just annoys me, the character. He really does. But anyway, guys, that is finally and officially our end to this tier list. I really hope that you guys did enjoy this series, and if you did, make sure that you smash the like button down below. I know I've been doing these things where it's if this video gets 10 likes, then I'll release the next video. Since this one is the last one, can I just ask to see whether you guys will like it? So let's see if we can get this video to, let's say, 20 likes. just for the series. Please, guys, I would absolutely love it if you could do that. So make sure that you smash the like button down below. And I can't believe that we finally finished all of these characters and added them all into this tier list. It is huge now. It's got over 80 slots from all 3 different TV shows, from The Story of Tracy Beaker, from Tracy Beaker Returns, and now from The Dumping Ground. Again, if you guys want to check it out at home and do it yourself, make sure that you click the link down below in the description and share it with us on all of our social medias at Gate of Theories. And tell us in the comments down below whether you agree with where I've picked for any of these characters, for the Dumping Ground characters, for the Story of Tracy Beaker characters, and for Tracy Beaker Returns characters. And again, if you want to watch any of the previous videos, make sure that you go and check out the playlist, which will appear on the end screen very, very shortly. But as always, we've been here on Gate of Theories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.